Today I am going to solve activity 7.15, which says that use a trace table and some negative test data to record another dry run of the pseudocode or flowchart. What error have you found? Uh, this activity is talking about the uh, table that was given in on the previous page, the trace table that was given on the previous page. This trace table was basically checking out the largest and smallest values of a given set of numbers, and this activity is also related to the pseudocode which was given on page number 284, that the pseudocode is taking 10 values from the user, and it is comparing if the values will be greater than b. So b is basically being used to store the largest values. Variable b is basically used to store the largest values, and variable c is basically being used to store the smallest values. And a is being used as a counter over here. A is being used as a counter over here, and when the counter iterates for 10 repeats or iterates for 10 times, the largest value of B is shown to the user on screen, of C is being shown to the user on screen. And the same concept is shown to you in the form of a flowchart also. This is the flowchart. This is declaring three variables in the beginning, and then it is taking 10 inputs from the user. These 10 inputs are being compared with variables B and C. If the values will be greater, they will be saved inside B. If the values will be lesser, they will be saved inside the variable C, and A is being used over here as a counter, and then the outputs will be shown on the screen to the user. The largest and smallest values will be shown on the screen to the user. So let's move to the answer of a solution of this activity. This is the solution of activity 7.15. As you can see it over here, that the user is entering, you have been asked to give 10 negative values. These are the 10 negative values that I have assumed. You can write any other 10 values of your own. As you know that when using negative numbering, the larger number is uh, smaller than the smaller number. It means that minus 22 will be smaller than minus 11. Minus 33 will be more smaller. Minus 44 will be more smaller. So I have what this trace table is doing. It is using A as a counter. It is using B to store the largest values, and it is using C to store the smallest values. The first value which is given by the user is minus 11. The minus 11 will be compared with B. This minus 11 will be compared with B as it is lesser, because negative values are lesser than 0. As it is lesser than 0, so it will not be stored in B, because B is storing largest values. Then this minus 11 will be compared with C. It is smaller than 100, and as C is storing smallest values, a new value of minus 11 will be given to C, and 100 will be replaced, and the value of counter will increase from 0 to 1. And in the second round, user is giving a value of minus 22, which is lesser than B, and so nothing will be stored in B, because B is storing largest values. Then minus 22 will be compared with previous minus 11, and it is lesser than previous minus 11. And as C is storing smallest values, so minus 11 will be replaced with minus 22, and the value of counter will increase from 1 to 2. Then in the third round, third iteration, the user is giving a value of minus 33. this minus 33 is being compared with this 0. As it is lesser than 0, nothing will be saved because B is storing largest values. But this minus 33 will be compared with minus 22, as it is lesser than minus 22. It will be saved in C because C is saving smallest values, and the value of counter will increase from 2 to 3. Then the user is giving the next value of minus 44. Minus 44 will be compared with this latest values, the last value of B, which is 0. As it is lesser than 0, nothing will be saved in B because B is storing the largest values. But this minus 44 is lesser than minus 33. So minus 44 will replace minus 33 because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of counter will increase to 4. In the fifth iteration, or in the fifth round, the user is giving a value of minus 55. This minus 55 will be compared with this previous 0. As it is lesser than 0, nothing will be stored in B because B is storing the largest values. But minus 55 will be compared with minus previously saved minus 44, which is lesser than minus 44. So it will replace minus 44 because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of counter will increase to 5. Then in the sixth iteration, the user will give a value of minus 66. This minus 66 will be compared with this 0. It is lesser than 0, so nothing will be saved inside B because B is storing the largest values. But this minus 66 is compared with minus 55. As it is lesser than minus 55, it will replace minus 55 because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of counter will increase from 5 to 6. Now the user is giving the value of minus 77. This minus 77 will be compared with this 0 of B, and as it is lesser than B, nothing will be stored inside B because B is storing the largest values. But when this minus 77 will be compared with minus 66, as it is smaller than minus 66, it will replace minus 66, and it will replace minus 66 because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of counter will increase to 7. In the eighth iteration, the user is giving a value of minus 88. This minus 88 will be compared with the 0 saved, that is saved in B, as minus 88 is lesser than 0. So nothing will be saved inside B because B is storing the largest values. And when this minus 88 will be compared with minus 77, as it is lesser than minus 77, it will be saved inside C because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of counter will be increased to 8. Now the user is giving the value of minus 99. This value will be compared with the 0 saved inside B, as it is lesser than 0. So nothing will be saved inside B because B is storing the largest values. But when it will be compared with minus 88 that is stored in C, it is lesser than C, so that it is lesser than minus 88, so it will replace minus 88 because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of counter will increase to 9. Now as you can see that 9 iterations have occurred, and the user is entering the last value, because after this the loop will end because the pseudocode is working only for 10 numbers. The counter can go only until 10. So when the user will give the value of 100 minus 1, this minus 100 will be compared with the 0 that is saved inside B, and as it is lesser than B, nothing will be saved inside B because B is storing the largest values. and this minus 100 will be compared with minus 99. As it is lesser than minus 99, it will replace minus 99 because C is storing the smallest values, and the value of value of counter will increase to 10, and it will come out of the loop because the counter will stop because the counter was only allowed to to increase till 10, and the loop will end. The highest and lowest values will be shown to the user on screen. 0 will be shown as the largest values, and minus 100 will be value, and minus 100 will be shown as the smallest value. But this algorithm is incorrect. But this algorithm or code is or flowchart is incorrect because the largest value that the user had given was minus 11. It was not 0. So now the what the flowchart has done, it has displayed this value of b as the largest value. So there is a flaw in the algorithm, or the highest value is not is the highest value is minus 11, not 0. So the programmers need to work on the correction of this algorithm. Now let's move on to activity 5.16. Activity 7.16 says that identify two numbers where the algorithm will still fail. In activity 7.16, the programmer has made some changes to the flowchart that we have just discussed. He has, instead of comparing all the values between 0 and 100, this time the programmer is comparing the values between minus 1 million to plus 1 million. The algorithm will work really well for all the values between minus 1 million till plus 1 million. But again, it will fail if the user will give any value lesser than minus 1 million or greater than 1 million, plus 1 million. So this is going to be our answer, that minus user will not the pseudocode will not be able to tackle minus 1 million one or any other value lesser than minus 1 million one, and the pseudo code will not be able to tackle one plus 1 million one or any value greater than plus 1 million one. So this was activity 7.16. Please like this video and leave a comment if you have understood the concept. Thank you.